Welcome to Crypto After Dark, your crypto podcast brought to you by The Pillars. Join us as we dive into candid, unscripted conversations with the visionaries and creators shaping the crypto world. Whether you're a crypto aficionado or new to this crazy space, Crypto After Dark is your weekly dose of engaging stories and personal revelations, making the vast crypto space a little more relatable, one episode at a time. And today's guest is one of my personal favorite people in this space because I'm chatting with him almost every day. He's probably already annoyed by me because sometimes I'm having some sometimes I'm having some issues because just out of my own stupidity. But it's always lovely. He's always so helpful, and we are of course talking about OX Joe, who you guys might know already from SIVA. And if you don't know it from SIVA, you probably know him from in subsequently from the Pillars portfolio, because SIVA is the it has created the groundwork for the Pillars portfolio. We are using the SIVA white label solution here. For the people that don't know what that's about, is that SIVA is a crypto business that is focused in bringing engagement to communities, to projects, to people, and true engagement, that it's not just like retweet, but it's actual engagement. And the great thing about it is that people will be rewarded for that engagement, which is of course awesome. So if you, for example, you can chat or you can tweet something about whatever project that utilizes SIVA, you get points and then you can convert them into real money, which is of course an awesome idea. And OX Joe is the brain behind all of this, restlessly working on it, bringing new updates, new changes. Every time I'm speaking to him, he already is working on the next update. Even if he just told me the new update just came, the next is already in the work. So this is going to be a fascinating conversation. We are going to dive into engagement, the space, how engagement affects crypto projects, and of course, all his motivations behind that. And yeah, the community questions channel is open. You can ask all your raw, unfiltered questions to OX Joe, and of course, to our lovely host, Mad Hatter. And that's enough from me. I'm going to jump off of stage, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Thank you very much, David. Joe, how are you, sir? Good to have you in.
I'm doing great. Thank you, Medetta. How about you?
Yes, not too bad. Thank you very much. It's been a good, busy day so far. So I'm just looking forward to relaxing, having a great conversation with you, and
Yeah,
just
likewise,
seeing where it will
likewise.
take us. Why engagement? Why did that become your focus of this space?
Oh, I think it's because we love communities and we see and we know that without a working community, you don't really have any chance to be successful. May it be with your software, with your NFT project, with your token project, whatever. If you don't have a community, it's basically you're doomed to failure. And this is why we put the focus on the community and to make them happy in the
Hmm.
most natural way that we can. And this is what we always underline, is that with SIVA there is literally no artificial task that you have to do. So the only thing that you have to do from a technical perspective is that when you have tweeted and you want to get the rewards for your tweet, you have to copy the URL and put it in the channel. So we want to make it as easy and as natural for the community members as possible. And I think this is the really the way to go, because when they are active, because they get something for their active time. This is what we talked about a lot of times. That a lot of people spend a lot of hours per day in your community to introduce new people to the project, whatever, to make your project successful. And there
Right.
is, until now, there's no way to reward them in a way that we think is fair and transparent and reliable. And yeah, this is why we came up with this solution. And yeah, this is why we have the focus, basically, because we know that the source to success is a working community.
The source to success is a working community is a great tagline, of course, for SIVA. But does there come a point where you guys start to question whether or not what you are creating, as and when it becomes more popular, and as you guys find that it's really working for projects, that you are potentially putting yourself in a position where you're also helping to reward bad actors in this space that want to put a fire rocket up their community's backsides and get more money in just so that they can vanish with the funds? And I know that feels like a hard-hitting question. I don't mean it to be quite as straight to the point as it is, but to my mind, it's a double-edged sword here, right? Engagement you need, especially in a community like ours. It's fantastic to have tools that we can utilize to get people to talk and interact with each other more, so they can learn more, they can be educated more. But I can also see that there are some projects that are going to use this or want to use it for reasons that aren't quite as positive. Do you worry about that?
Yeah, for sure, definitely. So we have taken many measures to prevent the most obvious cases. So let me say or start by saying it's not really doable to really prevent everything. So what we do is to prevent automated things. For example, if someone tries to bot the stuff and
Mm,
just to get the sources out, so you can't even bot SIVA. This doesn't even work. But you can, of course, there are techniques where you can try to reap the rewards, kind of semi-automatically. But we will get you because we have like a heat-based security system, which filters out these more or less malicious users based on their interactions. Because at
mhm.
some point in time, humans just need sleep, and you cannot engage for let's say three days in a row, maybe not possible. So maybe for
Right.
some, but then they can always complain and come to us and say, hey, why am I blocked? And we can discuss that.
Right.
So the
Yeah. That
second is
I see Badger's already typing. It's probably going to say hold my beer because there's been days he's sat up for 3 days talking.
Yeah, and it's not an intimidating question because this is basically what I think about for nearly 2 years now, basically on an everyday basis. As you know, I'm a huge security guy, and
Mm,
this is basically my main thoughts are coming up with ways to trick SIVA. And we have, as I said,
nice.
we have many ways to trying to prevent things. And the next stage is what we already said is that the community is the most important thing, and who is in charge of the community? It's the moderators and the administrators. So we have, as you might know, you can reward certain Discord roles. So let's say if you hold the moderator role, you
Mhm,
get more rewards for every interaction. And this is our way to reward the moderators and administrators that put in the heart and soul into your project, to reward them differently to the quote unquote regular user or regular member, because they put in way more time than someone else. So, and they are really our first line of defense, because you don't want malicious users in your Discord, and the moderators are the ones in charge to kick and ban these people. And
right.
they should get a reward for this. So they are basically our first line of defense. Then we have this technical layer where we can filter out on a technical on the technical layer malicious users. And the next thing is that we are definitely aware that the payouts for the public ecosystem, as you might know, we have two different versions of SIVA. We have the free public ecosystem, and we have the
Mhm,
white label solution that's in action at the pillars, for example, which is basically the same as really like one-to-one the same as the public ecosystem, just with one other toggle, which basically says is public E2E. And yeah, these two versions is what we currently have. And the next stage will be the release of the paid plans. And the paid plans are really where you will earn way more per month. And so this is by design. As we always said, we have 50,000 users, and if we would give everyone, but I don't know, $5 per day, we would be bankrupt already. And this is why we came up with a solution where you can earn, if you have really an awesome engagement and you engage a lot, you can earn up to $5 per month currently. And
right.
with the premium plans, this will be way more. And this is the next stage that we have to prevent those kind of things. That you can kind of use the free public version still, but you won't get as much rewards as you would get in a premium server. And so this will be like the next stage, or the next, basically the next stage that we released against those things. But what I said in the beginning, that it's not really not possible to prevent everything, is that, for example, if you buy a white label solution and you set up a malicious token and you want to scam your community, this is not yet something that we can prevent. Because we really want to provide you a way and the most freedom that you can get when you use the white label solution. And so this might be the case. So there could be like a scam project out there that tries to spread their tokens through the SIVA Engage to Earn ecosystem. This is, of course, always up to a point what we can do to prevent these kind of things, because
Right.
most of the founder pass users need help setting it up, and maybe have some questions. And this might be the point in time where I joined their community, and they really are aware that I don't accept some various kinds of projects, and
Mhm.
they don't even reach out to us because they know this might be not the best idea, because I'm not afraid to expose them to everyone if they have a bad project. So
That was
they
going
are
to be one
really
of my questions for you, actually, is whether or
mm,
not you reject and have rejected projects as they come in, and you're
yeah, we
basically
already have.
confirming yes,
Yep,
you have. Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
We had a few
And you're
projects.
prepared to point them out, are you?
Yeah, yeah. We had a few projects reaching out, because you can provide, if you have a token project, you can reach out to us and we can provide your token through the public ecosystem, basically making it
Mhm,
available to 50,000 users instantly. And
mhm,
we had a lot of projects that asked that they want to be onboarded. But this is, of course, the point in time where we look into the projects, because when our community or the customers or the users of the ecosystem are affected by those tokens, this is not what we definitely not accept, and do everything that we can to prevent these kind of things and to go against these kind of projects.
right.
And this is the next thing that we are already in talks with some partners, is that we want to have automated checks. What this means is, of course, I cannot review all smart contracts that gets added into the ecosystem. If you have a white label solution, for example, you can add all ERC20 compatible tokens from all supported chains. We support 15
Uh-huh.
blockchains, and you can add any kind of native coins or ERC20 tokens. And let's say you collaborate with another token project, and as a utility, you want to provide them the option to earn their token in your community.
Mhm.
By the way, you can give the invite link to your white label solution bot to this project too, if you really love them, and they can earn their own token in their Discord. So as I said, it's really like the public ecosystem, the white label solution, that you can have more servers where you can have your own bot. And
Right.
and this is, but then we cannot, of course, not review all smart contracts. But with the new technology that we already testing in the back end, we can automatically scan the smart contracts for some malicious code or whatever, and then we can flag it, and then I will do a manual review. So we will use some automated AI tools to prevent that someone, maybe even accidentally, let's say the pillars want to add a token, and they want to use the engagement point feature of SIVA, and you add a token that has some malicious code in it. It would be flagged in the back end, and you can say, okay, what's going on there, and you wouldn't even have known about it when you wouldn't have used SIVA in this at this point in time. And
Right.
this is
Yeah,
what
I mean,
we
you guys, you have a lot in place, obviously, to keep people safe, which I appreciate. And there's a lot of moving parts to what you guys do, and it would take a very
yeah.
long time to kind of discuss all of them. From a human perspective, is there any fear that we're starting to create in this space, though, with things like this, a bit of a culture of only rewarding, and that by that I mean that unless something will be rewarded. People don't want to join, engage, or less people than normal do, because there isn't that instant gratification of getting something for free as a result. Have you found that that's perhaps been
Yeah.
something that's cropped up as a result of this?
Yeah, it is. I think more in a funny way because we have a few community members that say that they don't even want to engage in communities where SIVA is not invited to.
Mm,
I think this is, of course, like the subconscious feeling that we want to give you. As I said, we are not in your face. They are not like big spanning banners or something like this. You have this good feeling. You just get something for participating in the community.
mm,
And when this subconscious feeling is missing, you of course kind of notices it, but not really. You don't really feel like bad, but it's this little like, okay, I did not get something, and
right.
I think yeah, you're definitely right, and this is this giveaway mentality in the Web3 space, and but what I see, especially with SIVA, is that you have to invest something. And this is your time. You have to invest your time in the community. You have to chat. You have to really engage with the project, with the members, and then you get the rewards.
Right.
And for example, if you compare this to Zili or the others, let's say one-time engagement or artificial engagement services, where you just have to tweet 5 times, do something, and you get an NFT. This is something that does not bring any value, or maybe even might even damage your project. Because if someone just joins to snack the free NFT, then he flips it and he leaves the community again. And
Sure.
so this is really what we are really proud of, because we see it working so beautifully. That with SIVA, this is kind of different because we reward mid to long term engagement, and most people love it. A few people are what you just said. They have this mentality that they want to have an immediate, like, big value for something, and this is what we
Right.
cannot provide for them. With SIVA, you really have to be in the community for, let's say, one week, 2 weeks, be active maybe every day, write a few things, and then you have earned something.
Now,
And
does SIVA therefore create active chatters, or does it create interested investors?
I think both. Um,
Okay.
this is the cool thing, and it even has some synergy effects with community members introducing new members to your project. They are more willing to really um, tell them in detail what's going on, because they earn something. They get something out of it. So
Right.
it's really cool to see that it really works how we planned it. That it's not like the in the main scope for everyone, but everyone feels kind of good because you got something. And yeah,
But
that's how we
I
do.
do, and I like that you're so positive about it. It's really, and of course, you're always going to be positive because it's your baby. SIVA is your product, and it is working wonderfully well. And 50,000 users is huge, as has already been pointed out in the comment section. It's one of those things that we're obviously not a project, so it isn't about us having to convince people once they're in and active that our project is worth sticking behind. We're a space almost entirely based around rewarding people for something. And one of the things that I guess we are always juggling with, and one of the things that we do find, is that people are very keen to get something and very willing to tell you they're not happy the moment that getting something diminishes. And I always wonder how much that this kind of wonderful engagement tool that must work for so many different places plays a part in that mentality. And how do we combat it as a space? Because if we continue down this road as a space and all we want is something for nothing, or we want to generate money out of thin air, we're only going to encourage more and more projects to use Ponzinomics, and we're not really going to get the mass adoption we want, right?
Yeah, true, true.
So how do you
Um,
feel how do we combat it? What are your thoughts in terms of really walking that tightrope?
Maybe you can be more specific with a question.
So how do we ensure, not just through using a tool like SIVA, but how do we ensure in general, as projects, as spaces, as individuals that are sitting at the top of something, how do we ensure that we are finding the right balance? Are there times, maybe, for example, if I'm going to be very specific, are there times that you might say, hey, turn SIVA off for a bit and see what happens? Because it's great for engagement, but if you really want to dial into those that are interested, maybe don't give them something and see how many stick around. Is that something that you would utilize or tell people to utilize so that they can really get into those hardcore investors and interested parties so they're reaching the right people?
Yeah, yeah. It's always up to the, as you said, projects, quote unquote, because SIVA can not only be used by projects, it can be used by companies, by game developers, by basically everyone. And yeah, and I think once we have we had a statistics backend, and this will be back within, I think, the next two weeks. And then you can show the investors the engagement fall down of the fall off when you disable it and when you enable it again. But in general, this is what I always tell everyone. If you have a project or a service or company, whatever, and it sucks, then people will leave. And this is
Right.
nothing that SIVA will change. Maybe you will keep one or two more because they want to engage and they get something for it. But it's really that we tell everyone it's not like the magic source for your project to become instantly successful. You have to have something that people can talk about. And this is
Right.
why we don't have as much engagement in the SIVA Discord server, for example, because it started out as a support server. So I'm basically not happy when no one is writing something, because our community really evolved over time. But it's more like a good sign when we don't have much engagement, because we really treat it more like a support server. And so I think, yeah, this is really
What
the
are
secret.
your favorite? What are your favorite projects to unleash SIVA on? Are there any projects when they come through your doors you think, yes, this is going to really be successful, and this is what I'm looking forward to seeing work with you guys?
Yeah. I'm still looking for, and we are in talks with a few games. And I think this
Okay.
is one of the coolest use cases that I can think of with SIVA, is that you can earn the resources of the game with social engagement, or at least some of them. Let's say stone, metal, gold, for example, and you can
Right.
withdraw, and you make them an ERC20 token, and you can withdraw your engagement points into the resources that you can instantly use in the game. This is one of the coolest use cases, definitely, and something I would definitely look forward to.
I happen to have downloaded a game, and I'll tell you what it's called now. I've had to hide it on the last page on my phone because it just took almost all of my time. I was rendered useless for days. Last War. They ground me down by giving me this constantly on my social media feeds non-stop, and they have gold that you can get for free. Obviously, you've got to create, I don't know, whatever it is, a farm or something, and you can get wheat and rocks and whatever it might be. You
Mhm.
think getting those through engagement is going to be popular? I mean, that would make something incredibly interesting and really kind of start to bubble in terms of how energetic a space would be if the only way that you can achieve these things is through engagement.
I think not the only way, but it should be another way. And I think it closes a really important circle in gaming. And I'm a gamer since I can think. And
Mm,
the circle that closes, that I'm talking about, is what do players do when they are not playing? They cannot earn resources. They have this kind of FOMO where they could have get resources, and
mhm.
we close the circle because maybe they want to chat in the Discord, and this is another way to get resources, so you are basically still connected more or less to the game. And I think this is the cool thing behind it, that you can really bring the game to other channels, which is still pretty hard to pull off, because there is nothing like SIVA anywhere. And with
Right.
SIVA, this would be definitely possible. And we will, as you might know, we will soon have YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, where you can reward your members. And
Yeah.
yeah, and this will be like you have it on all channels. You can have your community or your gamers, your players earn the resources for your game on all social media, but just by participating. And this shouldn't be, of course, the only way to get the resources. And you can, of course, rotate the resources. You can give them gold in 1 week. You can give them stone in the next week. You can change the multipliers, of course, that you get. Let's say 1 gold for 1,000 engagement points, but 100 stones for, and so on and so on. It's really highly customizable in the back end, up to the max. We really have no restrictions in the back end where you run behind against a paywall, for example, or something like this.
Right. Interesting. There's a couple of things that you said in that response that have really piqued my interest, especially for some of the things that we have planned for our space here. So we should definitely jump back into that channel we have and have a conversation. I'm not going to give too
Yep.
much away, because I know that there are some keen ears listening to the conversation that are going to pick up on it immediately. But there's certainly a few really interesting things and directions this can take. So yeah, we'll have that conversation.
Yep.
What is the dumbest project that has ever come to you guys? I mean, have you ever walked away from a project and just, and I want to know specifics, that you've walked away from and gone, that is the stupidest shit I've ever heard of in my entire life?
I would never say that, but we had one project that I was like not seeing like the sense of it. We had more of it, but one really stood out, and they started
That's more.
to create 100 levels in Discord, and
Oh no.
I was like, okay, why? Yeah, and they came up with the most complex things, and they were like a marketing agency, had the most disgusting website that I saw in a long time. And I
Right.
was like, why, just why, just do something else that you might.
So that
This
was
is
the absolute dumbest that you came and got 100 levels, no chance. Forget it. We're not working with you.
yeah.
Leave it alone.
No, we
Yeah.
left it up to them, but we said, okay, do it on your own. We cannot support you in any way, because 100 levels, there are a lot of stuff you have to think about when you want to pull
Right.
that up. But yeah, we of course give support to everyone. I think we are not in a position, or no one is in a position to say your idea is dumb. Because maybe it sounds dumb to sell books via internet, and might end up in Amazon.
Fair point.
And yeah, I think this is why I can't really say an idea is dumb. Maybe they would have success. Why on earth they would have, but
You're being
maybe they
far
haven't.
more polite than me. Let's be honest. There are some projects you look at them and you think this is maybe the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This was created by a bunch of minions, and we should avoid it at all costs because we're just going to lose money. But you're being very polite.
Yeah, but you have to think about, if the project of them might fail, they might come up with another project and learn their lessons from the failed project. And so I think every error, every failure is just an important lesson. The to have to prove you what I'm talking about. We had some outages from Tree to Earn during the last week, and
Yeah.
it took me 1.5 days only to find where the bug is, and
Right.
another 2 days to fix it. And now we came up with the most robust solution that we ever had, and we can use this solution for way more things that we use in the future. So I learned from the failure because it was not really on the surface, so it was no coding error or something like this. It was more like on a hardware level. And
Mm.
so knowing about these things just make you stronger for the future. And if you have a failed project, the next time you will do better. And if you fail again, just do it again and do it again and do it again. I think this should be the mentality. And I think this is why you cannot really say this is dumb, because maybe they learned the most valuable lesson from their dumb shit they did. And the next one will be mind blowing. So it's,
Yeah.
yeah, this is how
I hear you.
I see
And
things.
I recognize what you're saying. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, people do dumb shit, and they can go away, learn from their lessons. And
Yeah,
talking
exactly.
about tweet to earn, oh my goodness, the second it went down, didn't we hear about it? And didn't we hear about it every half day, every day until it was fixed? It was one of those things that people didn't realize they were enjoying using actually until it was no longer there to be used. Is that something that you find SIVA kind of brings to the forefront? Is that people don't realize what they've got until it's taken away. So once it creeps in kind of under the radar and you start getting this nice
Yeah.
flow of people earning, the second it
Yeah,
isn't there,
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
really noticeable, right?
Yeah, and this is really what we wanted. As I said, we want to be this subconscious feeling, this good feeling that you get something just for spending your time. And in the first days, you might have seen it in the pillars too. The first days, everyone is putting up the balance command basically after every engagement. You add a reaction, you put
Right.
up the balance command to see if you earn something. You write
Yes.
something, you put up the balance command, and so on and so on. But after
Yeah.
a week, you see that you get something for every engagement, and then maybe you pull out the balance command once a week. Or maybe just once a month, and you say, "Whoa," and yeah, and this is
Right.
what we really want, and to show you that we are there. We say, we do what we say. We don't want to be in your face. We don't want to have that. We don't want you to create 10 channels to be visible in your Discord, to occupy the important screen space on Discord. We have one tweet to earn channel and one engage to earn channel, and that's basically it. And yeah, this is what we really intended to do. That you come back to us once a day, once a week, and just enjoy your earnings. And you can
Right.
do
And
it
that's what
on
it's
all
about.
servers where SIVA is. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what it should be about. It should be about the enjoyment, enjoying the process and the journey, not just the balance commands, as you say. I'm looking at a particular um, South American bunny rabbit as we speak, who for the first week, I think, might have earned most of his SIVA by just hitting balance command to see how many points he'd actually earned. So it was one of those situations where he was tapping it nonstop, and of course everyone's going to be like that at some point. But yeah, it is about enjoying the journey. It's about moving forward and just having fun with the whole process. Checking once a week,
Exactly.
and if you're there, you're there, and if you're not, just come back the next week and have some fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
Yeah.
obviously you're rolling out a ton of options where people can earn. What do you think is going to be the next big? I know you mentioned gaming already. Outside of gaming, what do you think will be the next big thing? Is it going to be a YouTube? Do you think? Is it going to be an Instagram? Is it going to be TikTok? Is there going to be something that you think once I've got it here is
Yeah.
going to absolutely explode?
Yeah, I think it will be the Telegram client. This is something that people are
Right.
waiting for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
And basically, the only reason why we haven't launched it yet is because we have to scale our systems. And the Tree to Earn fix already costs us now $50 more per month for the whole operations. So this is important about SIVA, is that we deliver continuous services for everyone who uses us. It's not like we deploy a smart contract and it lives on the blockchain and we don't pay anything.
Mm,
We pay for the monthly operations. So we really have to be cautious with the planning of giving out more resources. And if we launch the Telegram client, I think the operational cost might double up and or even triple up. And so we really have to prepare these releases from new clients and from new features really carefully. Yeah, basically not to fuck up the system and to have a bottleneck somewhere. And this is again where the new system from Tweet to Earn comes into play.
mhm,
With the new development, we can really use this technology for all further operations or all further features that we will implement. But I think the Telegram client will be definitely because we know that the crypto communities are in three places, and that's basically X, that's Discord, and that's Telegram. And
mm.
we had to start somewhere. This is why we started on Discord. I'm in Discord since 2016, I think. So I'm pretty familiar with the whole business model behind Discord. If you don't know, I think they will list on I don't in Frankfurt, I think, this year. And yeah,
Right.
Discord was always this. They tried to be the competition for Steam, but they soon realized that it doesn't make sense, and they ripped off the feature again. And yeah, this is why we started on Discord. But I think the biggest impact that we will feel will be the Telegram implementation. And of course, all clients are important. So YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. But what we differentiate in our ecosystem are high frequency apps and low frequency apps. And Twitter, for example, is a low frequency app. Or YouTube, where you can reward for someone who puts a comment beneath your video, for example. This is nothing which has a high frequency. It has higher payouts. Like Tweet to Earn gives, I think, like the 10th of the engagement points, the 10 times the engagement points of what you get for writing a message. But you can always you can only tweet every 6 hours, I think. So these are more like slow frequency services or apps. And high frequency apps are more like chatting apps, like Discord, like Telegram. There might be the option to hook into WhatsApp with a new change they might bring out, so we can reward in WhatsApp groups. And
So the community questions channel's about to go absolutely mad now that you said that, I imagine. Yeah, so WhatsApp, sorry, I interrupted. You guys are thinking about being able to plug into that?
into what? Sorry.
Into WhatsApp?
Yeah, if it's available, as I said, SIVA is really built to be client agnostic. So even if we are huge on Discord, it doesn't mean that we rely on Discord. We already have Twitter implementation. When we have Telegram and others, it really works autark to other services. And yeah, this is really where we want to hook into all engagements that we can measure. For example, one of the next updates will include on-chain rewards, which means if you have a token and you want to reward someone for doing a transaction, for example, you can catch that event and you can reward this event, which makes it like an external. What's other tokens called where you get a share for each transaction? I think you know what I mean. These tokens where
Yes,
you
yes,
get a
yes,
share
yes.
for.
Sorry, my brain's gone blank on it too.
Yeah, it's just I will come back to it later. And I think this makes it into this service where you can reward any kind of on-chain events. And I always bring up the example: if you go to a concert and you authenticate with your concert ticket, which is stored as an NFT on your smartphone, this is an event that we can measure, and we can send a printed on-demand T-shirt directly to the fan. And this is how far we can go with SIVA. We are here to reward human engagements, independent of which media, may it be in real life, may it be wherever. It's human engagement. As long as we can measure it, we always have the fun stuff that we could reward you for taking a dump. And if
Right.
you want us to measure this, we can reward you for this, But I think there are some mentality issues I might have, some privacy issues maybe that arise over
Based
there.
on weight, they've got some scales in the toilet. Does
Yeah,
this?
and I always say you can already do it because you can use Twitter on the toilet, right? So you can
Yeah,
earn by doing
exactly.
it.
Yeah, you can be on or Telegram.
Yeah.
These are obviously great thoughts, and you're citing some great potential use cases for SIVA. Does it make you nervous though? The scope and scalability of what it is that you're creating and where that might take you?
To be honest, no, because as you might know, I wrote the whole system behind it, and I know that it is optimized to include more clients, and I'm just looking forward to get more traction. So as you might know, we don't have any grants, or we have not really support from any side. We are not in any big projects because we haven't got any pushes from the blockchains that we initially launched on, for example, on Polygon. They basically just ignored us, and we tried to push them. And this is something. It's of course a little bit disheartening, but our community is so awesome that we keep moving forward every day, and we don't really care about how we get support from a blockchain or something like this. And at least not anymore, since we experienced that there is no support. It's everyone
Right.
pushes P, but no one pushes back. So we just decided to stop these things. It would be amazing, of course, but no, I'm not afraid. I'm really looking forward to see how the system works when we have more heavy load. We already had a couple of thousands engagements per second, which the system just processed beautifully. And on a mint day was this, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to bring more changes and to scale horizontally and vertically when we see more load on the system, because now
Right.
we have our system in such a modularity that we can scale each part separately. So it's really just a matter of, okay, way more people are now using Tree to Earn, so we can just scale this system a little bit up to give them more power to have faster responses, for example. And so no, I'm really looking forward to get more traction and to implement more clients and everything. So I think the most important things are now in place with the last update where we fixed Tree to Earn. And now is really the way that we the next plan is to really plan which features are up next. Yeah, just to as you said, we really have to plan carefully how we do the marketing stuff, because we are a small team. We don't pay influencers or something like this. We haven't bought a single follower on Twitter or something like this. And
Right.
this is why we have to make everything out of every move that we do. And this is why we have to be really careful with which features we implement, how we market these features, to get the traction that we currently have. We have a lot of people that come to us, for example, when they have finished Zili. And with SIVA, there's not really like you cannot finish SIVA because we are not like task based or this one time things. And if a community has done the Zili task like 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, they just get bored of it. And this again, this might be not something that you want to do in this time, because you might want to chat with another community member. But now you have to make a screenshot, you have to upload the screenshot and do all these kind of things. And yeah, with SIVA you always get the rewards, and we are 100% transparent. And you can at any time withdraw your engagement points into real crypto, that you can, if you want to flip it, if you don't want to hold it, you can flip it into ETH and do whatever you want with it. So this
Right.
is really what we wanted to build. There's one Discord bot. I don't know, the Dank Meme, I think is the name, where you get this shitty Discord coin that everyone can earn, and you can rob someone else. And this is not our mentality. We wanted to really want to provide a tool for the Web3 space that they
Mm.
can use to reward their communities for the reason we just talked about. And
Yeah.
yeah, this is why we do what we do.
You are always very difficult to break when it comes to SIVA because you're always so positive about it. And I know that you're meticulous, which means you have an answer for everything because you've already asked yourself the question. So let me cut straight to it. Where or at what part does SIVA not succeed as it currently stands? There has to be something that you look at with what it is that you've created, be it a personal thing, be it feedback, whatever it might be. Where
I
do
think
you find that it's not doing what you want it to do?
I think in getting grant support or financial support from services, systems, blockchains, whatever. This is really what I expected to be, not easier, but at least something, and this is really what I'm not really happy with. We applied to, I think, 5 grants, and no, basically no responses, or they said, okay, thank you, next time. And
Right.
so this is really what we struggle with, to get, yeah, to really, because all the development is currently paid from Lars, my brother and co-founder, and me. And the
Uh-huh.
system operations and all these kind of stuff is everything gets paid out of our own pockets, because we believe in the project, supported by our community with NFT sales and the SIVA ITO NFTs. And
Hmm.
but this is, of course, not enough to keep everything sustainable. This is why we have to come up with the payment plans that we will release soon. And just to mitigate that we are not happy with the current situation, that we are not able to receive any grants. Maybe and this is I love self-critics, and I think this is really because we have no dedicated team member that does only these kind of things, and yeah, this is really what's the most unhappy thing that we
Mm.
have. All other things are working beautiful. So we have a lot of responses from projects. We reached out. I think we will have 5 more white label solutions in the upcoming week, and everything is beautiful. And the only downside is really that we try to get some funding, but did not succeed. This is
Right.
really it doesn't really I don't really care too much. This is what I always answer when someone said, "What about the bear market?" I'm a developer. I don't really realize bear market, bull market. Of course, I feel it because there's more money when the bull market is there. But
Right.
my daily behavior doesn't change a single thing. I just do what I do when there's a lot of money and when there's no money, and this is what we currently prove. We don't really give anything about the current situation, and we know what we have. We know how innovative we are, and everything that I just say is not my opinion. This is the feedback that we get from our community and from our partners, and that
Right.
is what keeps us moving forward. And this is this is the only thing that's really not so nice.
I Sure, and let me ask you a different kind of question then. My imagination always runs wild, especially with conversations like this, and especially when it comes to tech like this, that can be something that has the potential to dominate a lot of different spaces in the way it's been designed. And I can imagine SIVA having its own version of a Black Mirror episode in which, there's this utopian um, wonder that people live in with this kind of dirty underbelly. And I'm not saying SIVA's dirty, but this dirty underbelly where people are perhaps engaging or trying to engage, and the engagement itself becomes more important than the rewards, and they can't peel themselves away from it. When I said, does it make you nervous? Does your mind ever go to that kind of possibility? Like we're talking the grand scale, from being, if I'm to quote the film, a kid sitting in his dormitory, creating a landing page to compare girls, to sitting in front of Congress, having to answer for the kind of people that have got onto your platform and used it for, really unfavorable and unsavory things. Does your mind ever? Do you let your mind wander to that? And what does that future of SIVA look like to you?
Yeah, we actually thought about it, and this is what our community members told us, that they begged us not to sell. And I think as long as the original mentality of SIVA stays intact, there will be no such dark scenario. There will be a Black Mirror episode, but more on a positive one.
Yeah,
The negative one, the dystopian one, is let's say when we sell SIVA to some shitty big company. I don't know. They said like Facebook, for example, or Meta. When they come aware of it and buy it, then it will pretty much for 99.9% be used not in a way how we envisioned it, being
right.
accessible for everyone, having a free version for everyone, where everyone can get familiar with crypto and Web3. This mentality has to remain intact, otherwise we wouldn't be there where we are when we have a login. And when you,
No,
for example,
selling
have
to
to
Elon
use a
Musk.
token. Yeah. For example, this is something where I would have to really talk about with him, or with someone who wants to buy these things, or SIVA, that we can make sure that the future is 100% safe. And I think Elon Musk might be the only one we might consider to sell, because I really love what he does with the reusable rockets and a few kind of things. Starlink is awesome.
Do you
Um,
like what he did with Twitter, or X, as I should say?
yes and no, to be honest. The what I really love about it is it works way better than it ever worked in the last couple of decades.
Hmm.
This is really what I really love about it. That he made it a payment service too. That there are payment option is something that definitely has to be there. This is why we have paid plans too very soon, because you just have, if you have something, when you pay for continuous operations, and Twitter really pays a lot for continuous operations. You have to have some kind of revenue plan besides just having advertisement. And this is what I really love about it. But what I don't like about it is how he went about the API. So if you might know, the first system of tweet to earn, what we released, I think a year ago, was basically the release day of Tweet to Earn was the day when Elon Musk took over Twitter and completely shut down the API. And so Tweet to Earn worked that you just had to tweet. And we got notified and you got the rewards automatically. You don't have to copy your URL, you don't have to paste it. It was completely automated, even without requiring any access to your account. But this API endpoint got completely shut down. And the reason behind the API change was that he wanted to prevent bot usage on Twitter, which completely makes sense. But bots should have been prevented to post something on Twitter. And what we did was just get read access to it. And this is what I don't like about it, that he made this really like a closed, more or less closed system, because you cannot really get into it via API anymore. And the Twitter API is something more personal that I learned programming and API programming and developing with the Twitter API, because it was one of the best APIs out there and really set standards. And
Nice.
yeah, this is what I really hate about it. That I think with the current solution, when we had Tweet to Earn with the old system, we would pay 54,000 USD per month, and
Oh,
this is not really sustainable for us. So
no, not unless you've got a sizable chunk coming in. Now,
yeah.
if something like Meta came in and decided to throw a whole bunch of money at you, you think rewarding people for liking pictures on Insta and utilizing AI to chat genuine interactions is going to be the next step? Do you think that comes in?
What you mean with Polygon? Sorry.
Well, this is from David, so I'm trying to do his words justice.
Okay.
But do you think that they would bring some kind of engaged through liking pictures on Instagram, for example? What he means by utilizing AI to track genuine interactions, I don't know. But what we can do is embarrass him real quick by dragging him on stage and make him explain himself. Uh,
No, I think I know what he is up to. I think he was
Hello.
Take it
right.
away, David.
No, my question was just it was in relation to what you said before about Facebook and all of that, and my mind just went immediately to. I mean, it would be perfect for something like exactly like Instagram, that you have SIVA, that where they say, "Oh, we want you to like if you like a picture, if you comment a picture, you're getting X amount of rewards." But then, of course, utilizing some kind form of AI so that people cannot not just like every Twitter, every Instagram post they see. Um, that was just that thought. I thought that could be the future, right? If
Yeah.
everything is moving into that area, with especially with crypto and more institutions are picking up crypto, I think that's going to be interesting. I mean, they're living off of the interactions, right? It's the same as for YouTube. They want people to comment, they want people to post, and imagine you get reward tokens for posting on a couple of shorts.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we do what we do. Yeah, and it will be possible, like you said. So and this is how it's currently implemented on Twitter too. So you don't get rewards for just mentioning or tweeting something. You have to tweet a slogan that you set up in the back end. You can mention someone, or you have to comment below an account that you can set up in the back end. And the next iteration, just to give you a small news, is there will be a raid mode where you can put in the tweet that you want your members to invade or to raid, and you can reward only a special tweet where you want the comments to be rewarded. And this will be the same for Instagram too. You can say all comments for an account. You can say the comment for a special post, for example. You can reward your members to mention you on Instagram. And the only solution that we haven't implemented yet is to post a certain image, just because there are so many ways to manipulate it, that the only solution would be to use AI. And this is something that we, as I said, from the funding perspective, we cannot yet pay for, because we already have AI implemented in SIVA. You can enter ask/ask SIVA, and chat with ChatGPT. This is but all services that we attach, and this AI service to have basically image recognition would be pretty expensive, and this is why we don't have image rewards yet. But I think it's at some point in time there will definitely be rewards for posting certain images. And just checking the file name, for example, doesn't really work. You can just choose a file name for another image and you get the rewards. And so yeah, and this is really what you said, that we want to reward you on all channels, and founder pass holders will have access to all channels. As I said, it's the all-inclusive license. And when we talked with I talked with David in the back channels, and he was concerned that you have to pay like a monthly fee. Even when you have a white label solution, I could come in pretty quick down, because what we say is what we do, and we say this founder pass is an all-inclusive license with no strings attached, and most importantly, with no fixed monthly cost, because we know that fixed costs really kill projects. And this is why we came up with a white label solution, and the founder pass in combination using NFTs as a software license key is basically the buzzword. And we want to have YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and it will always be some engagement types that we will reward.
Don't you
And
think?
by engagement types, I mean
Sorry
something.
to interject for a second,
Yep.
because this is a good point there, because you said you're gonna want to do it on every platform and certain engagement types. And there was a comment from someone in the community questions channel that I thought was interesting, and it was talking about, don't you think adding rewards to engagement creates a transactional relationship? And I believe what they mean is a transactional relationship between true engagement and of course the money factor to it. Like, I'm trying to be, of course, not just the devil's advocate, but don't you think that sometimes you are have some kind of, like, you're educating people to maybe with this greedy, maybe a greedy aspect to it. So, oh, I'm only gonna comment there because I'm gonna make some money out of it. Or do you think this is just gonna push the people just to get out of their shells and see, like, oh, okay, I can engage, and hopefully that and hope that people get used to engage more, and then see the liking in it, and maybe get the sense? Or do you think sometimes you have also created a little monster here?
From time to time, I think we have one or two monsters, but I think they shut down really quick when they realize they can't trick the system, and that they really have to put in more work than just one message, for example. And again, the system itself defeats those monsters pretty quick, because they realize that it takes a little bit more than adding a reaction. And there will be, I'm pretty sure that there are one or two people there that basically just use SIVA to reap the rewards without being passionate about it or whatever. But I think 99% of the other users really understand what we try to do. And if you want to have this and this is again artificial, you don't want to do this thing, you just engage because you earn something, and then they can use Zeely, if basically, if you know what I mean. And we want to reward you for the things that you love to do, and you love to be active in the community, you love to help others out, to be a moderator, and you already tweet about the pillars, and if you already tweet about them, why not get rewards for it? And so this is with the way that we go down, and that we go. And I think, there will be, of course, there's always like a gray number to all kind of things, as I already said about that SIVA might be in use in some server where they talk about some brutal stuff. But this is nothing that we want to provide. So what we could do is, of course, analyze all messages that get written and just reward messages that the AI considers to be worth rewarding. And this is, of course, stupid shit, And this is why we always have these kind of thoughts killed on the very beginning when they spawn in our heads. And Yeah,
Given how, sorry to jump in, but given how modular SIVA is, and given how much can be changed, I think one of the things that's being dialed into by David, and the comment that was written down, is that I think the word reward itself suggests a transaction. Whereas, what if, for example, we at the Pillars wanted to say that we wanted to recognize people for their efforts? We don't want to reward you, but we want to recognize your efforts. And it's
yeah,
going to be a recognition, not a reward that you get for something, but an opportunity for us to say thank you. Will there come a time when we can perhaps rename how we are giving people the PXP, how we're giving back to the community, and how we're saying thank you for the engagement, which is effectively what it is that you've created, a platform to
yeah.
thank people for their engagement?
Exactly, yeah, and you can really use it the as really as you want, and yeah, reward. Um, this is always a really cool thing to talk about. What people think rewards are in fact, because the most of the times you only think about this monetary financial aspect. But if you play a game and you get rewarded with XP for killing the end boss, for example, this is a reward too. You get nothing out of it, but you get a reward. And I think you can already set it up more like you already have it set up, to use it more like a reputation point, to yeah, have them represent the community and thank
Mm.
them in that way, that you don't use the engagement points. You use the XP leveling system, which is, as I said, more like an reputation system. And the transactional aspect, I think, always kicks in when you expect some immediate value. And this is why I always talk about that what you earn with SIVA has no immediate value. Otherwise, we wouldn't be allowed to do this anyways on Discord, for example, because terms of services do not allow you to earn something that has an immediate value. This is why we go down the engagement point route, where you can withdraw your engagement points into cryptocurrency. But you have to
I,
do it actively, and what you earn has literally no value. It's like payback points. They have no value. It's a value in the database, and this is what everything makes everything possible. And you can use this feature, and then you have more this transactional thought behind everything that you do, or you can just leave it out, and then you can change like the how everyone feels about it, because you get rewards in experience points, which counts more towards your reputation of the project, if you will.
yeah, I think it's an interesting conversation, and maybe one for another time, because I know we've been going now for just over an hour, so we'll start to wind it down. I think when it comes to this particular space, people are always going to expect immediate value, as you say,
Mm.
and that word reward is going to resonate with them in a very specific manner, because we are dealing with a space that, for the most part, is expecting some kind of monetary return for their efforts. When you start
100%.
to, when you guys do get into the realm of gaming, and if it is gaming that isn't crypto gaming, for example, isn't DeFi gaming, isn't this space um, game to earn, then I think it becomes reward becomes absolutely one of those words that is people will really dial into and run with. So it's an interesting conversation to have, and I'd love to see if you ever explore the idea of actually calling it something else, not just in the mentality by which it's used, but actually our
Mhm.
ability to call it a different thing. It's entirely that, when they look for it, it is not going to be a reward, but an award, as Phip said, or recognition, or something else that perhaps doesn't have that connotation to it. I think having an experiment, just even socially, with different wordings would be really interesting to see how different people in different spaces react to it.
Yeah, true. That's something we might think about, to give you more options in the back end, to really name it how you want it. I think we will stick with reward, because in general it describes at best, in the most simple terms, what you expect. You do something and you get something, whatever that is. It might be a feeling, it might be something financially, whatever. And this is the reason why, for the public ecosystem, if you want us to provide your token through the public ecosystem, you have to have an active liquidity pool. Because we don't, as you just said, we live in the Web3 space, and they expect something that has an immediate value. So when they withdraw their engagement points, into tokens that do not have any value because it's like a dead token that has no liquidity pool, they will be dissatisfied. And this is, of
Right.
course, something that we don't want. And this is definitely would sign that what you just said, that everyone has this certain expectation. And and with SIVA, you can on your own control withdraw into something that you accumulated, and this has a value. But as I said, we cannot give you immediate value. It was the first iteration of SIVA, by the way, where you minted the token for every engagement. But when we stumbled upon the terms of services, we rapidly changed the underlying system. So
Okay, great. Look, Joe, I've had you for over an hour now, so I'm going to wind it down. Thank you so much
Okay.
for coming in. It's been a fascinating conversation. We're going to have this
Likewise, thank
conversation many more times over, I'm sure, because I
awesome.
remember I enjoyed speaking to you the last time you came in. I've enjoyed it even more now, so let's do this again. I am very much also looking forward to having some conversations in the back end about one or two of those points that you raised that I'm not going to let slip just yet, even though the community might want me to. And we can have a conversation to see how we can help one another. And there's perhaps a few really exciting things that we might be able to do.
Awesome, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, let's have that conversation. It's been great. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in. You kind of
Likewise,
dropped
thank
a
you for having
little
me.
you dropped a little bit of something that was interesting. Do you have any other alpha for us before you leave? Do you want to leave us on a high with something else that we can expect from SIVA very soon, or are you keeping that for another time?
I think what I already revealed is the rate mode for tweet to earn, where you can send your community really targeted to some influencer accounts or company accounts, whatever you want. This is one of the biggest changes, and the paid plans that we just scratched upon a little bit is something that we haven't talked about publicly yet. We haven't announced it yet, so it's brand new. There will be 3 to 4 plans like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and if you have a subscription, you get way higher payouts for your server. And this is the alpha for today. So I think we will
Great.
release more details within the next week. And the prices start for the bronze edition with $14.99 per month, and you get a reward multiplier of x3, so 3 times the rewards that you get in a non premium server. And just to give you more rewards and to start the first revenue streams for the whole project.
Great. Well, thank you,
Awesome.
Joe. It's been a pleasure. Have
Thank
a
you.
fantastic rest of your evening.
Likewise, man. See you.
Take
Have
care
a great week.
and take care, guys. Thank you for coming. Bye.
Stay safe. Bye bye.